Hello, everyone. Welcome to Section 1, Lesson 1 podcast. So, today I got up and I heard God say, what the purpose is design. And so I did the Bible reading video and I did the lesson video, and we got the paragraph of the text for this lesson. So, on the podcast, I just wanted to go into more of like the concept of God's design and purpose for our lives. So it's really interesting because lately God's really been, as I've been here in solitude and obscurity in this little town, God's really been talking to me a lot and showing me how, He created me in my mother's womb and put me, at the exact second and minute and hour and day and of time, like put me in my family, in my birth order at exactly the right moment in time, with my personality and with my body physical traits. And he knew how all of that would work together for my good. He also knew everything that I would experience in my life, all of my trauma, all of my damage, he knew where he was putting me, as I grew up with my personality. He knew, because he saw the end, before I was ever born. He already saw my last day, and he numbered all of my days, and they're all written down in his book. And so his design was already complete. He already has his design of me complete. So, and it's perfectly good. I'm called according to his purposes and his plans for me, and all things work together for good for those who love and are called and chosen according to his name. That verse. So God's design, it's really, we can't grasp it. We're not God. We can't see everything, and know everything of all time. We can't do that. We're created beings, created in God's image to sing forth his praises for all of eternity. That's so that he could show forth his craftsmanship, his workmanship, we are expressions of his creativity, and we create furthering we were created to create, so we can kind of understand how he feels as a creator. So as you come to know the Lord more, as you give him the things of your life that you've gone through or you experienced, or the trauma or the grief or the loss or the pain or the abuse or the, all of those things, you start to see as God redeems them all, as God transforms your life in this area and that area, then God's design starts to become more and more clear. And we get to see what he was doing. I can look now and see that he had always purposed for me to write books. He always purposed for me to be sitting here at this moment in this city at this time recording this podcast as part of his design, one of his brushstrokes, one of the threads. And as I listen to him and as I obey him and walk forward in my life, then I get to see God's design further kind of expand. I get to watch God create something, creating my, the story of my life, writing it every day as I seek him, as I give him my life, as I humble myself before him. It's amazing to see what God's doing in my life. And then I can appreciate that, right, for my own life. And then I can look at other people's lives and I can see the redemptive purposes of God at work in everyone that I meet and everyone that I know. And it gives me a better ability to pray for them, to encourage them, to offer them advice if they need it, to teach them things, and even to welcome them into my journey of being part of my story. It kind of gives you an overall glimpse of God's design for his purposes in the world. So, yeah, that's the podcast for today. Thank you for listening.